To goon or not to goon? That is the question that I think Yankee's going to answer for us today. It's a great question. I'll let him have his take first, though, because it is tricky. It really is tricky, because sometimes it's productive. Sometimes it's like, okay, well, it's not worth it going out chatting to all these gal on the phone and following through. But then obviously, like, you should socialise and learn how to speak to the opposite gender. I presume this is aimed at a male audience. I'm not sure yet. Although I do know Yankee is a man and I have heard his stories before. So let's say also a bit of Skate 3 gameplay. Fuck, I need an Xbox, bro. I used to have an Xbox and I sold it ages ago. But bro, just coming home from school, chatting shit with the boys and just going to the Super Ultra Mega Park. My God. Oh, there's chapters. Hot librarian, shooting my shot. I've been locked in. Tune the goons. All right, I'm excited.
When I was like 15 in the 10th grade, there was this girl that
15 in the 10th grade. That's actually useful information because I'm English. So 15 is 10th grade. Yeah, okay, that's the same as us. So what do you go up to? Like 11th grade? And then is it freshman, sophomore, senior, onwards? I don't know how the American system works.
There was this girl that I had a crush on. She was like kind of quiet. She was like one of those smart girls that was still popular, not like a cheerleader or like that typical like popular girl aesthetic, but everybody like.
Okay, I think Bird might have a type. I'm kind of on it though. I'm kind of with you.
They're right. She was in the 11th grade, so she was a grade above me.
Oh, bro. I've never known a situation where that's. I'm trying to think of a year above with like a girl. I only ever knew in school one guy from a younger year. Actually, no, there's two situations. One because the guy in the year below was with a girl in our year. Well, in both situations, it was a guy in the year below with a girl from our year. But one was like 6 foot, had a beard anyway, so it basically didn't matter. And then the other one had like an insane face card. So it's kind of a boring story, actually. Just keep Yankee, keep it going.
And she was a student aide in the library, so like an assistant librarian, some shit like that. And she was a little taller than me. She wore.
Oh my God, bro's literally just been nerfed and nerfed and nerfed again in terms of securing this bag. But if he pulls through, bro, poof, fair play.
Like these big, not too big, but like, you know, the circular rim glasses. Kind of.
I'm gonna be so for real. She was older than me and taller than me a little bit. This dead how she looked in my eyes. Hey, what is she from? I recognize her from something, and I can't think what it is. But trust me, if she looked like that, oh my God! Like he's playing on the hardest difficulty. If this is a like a successful ending, I'm gonna be so gassed for him.
Low key, like just typical hot librarian look type shit. You know, like I said, I thought she was.
Girls with glasses, girls with glasses. Oh my freaking God. Oh, girls with glasses, messy bun, maybe 2 strands down the side here. Don't, because I'm 2 weeks free of gooning. This is a pretty relevant video. I haven't gooned in 2 weeks because I went on holiday like 2 weeks ago on the Thursday, and then I stopped on the Sunday. I was like, right, I'm not going to goon just in case I get any action. I don't want to have any fucking ED. I want my fucking badger downstairs to work. I want him to, you know, get at it. Didn't secure, so it didn't really matter. But now I'm 2 weeks free of gooning, so maybe it was worth it. Maybe that's what God had up aligned for me.
Insanely attractive, but she didn't really know I existed for real. And one day at lunch, right, I was in line and I didn't know she was right behind me, but I was in line with my friends. You know, we was doing the typical, just being us, being loud.
I'm sorry, I just saw a quad heel flip there. I know this is completely off topic and we're only 50 seconds into the video and I've already fucking quad heel flip. I used to do that on Skate 3 all the time. Sometimes it would just heel flip perfectly and it would just keep going, and then sometimes you would hold it, like you would hold the heel flip and it just wouldn't do anything. Don't know why.
On the typical, just being us, being loud and being fucking stupid like always. And I forgot what we were doing, but my homie Kendrick accidentally pushed me a little too hard, and I ended up hitting the person behind me. And when I went to look, I saw it was her. And dog, my face just went flush. I was like, oh shit. You know, I didn't really know.
Okay, serious question. This guy sounds, oh, this is gonna sound bad. He sounds American, he sounds black. Is that, can you go flush as a girl? Like, you could get sway, but you can't go red and you can't blush, can you? As like a black guy, really. Maybe he's light skinned, but you just can't. I'm not insulting it, but like as a white guy, I can go insanely red, bro. And trust me, on multiple occasions with women, I've gone extremely red. Fucking forehead vein starts coming out. It's rough out here. But like, you can't. Can you go red as a black guy? No, you can't. I don't know
what to say. Like, I had turned around to apologize, and when I saw it was her, and I saw that she was pretty like clearly visibly annoyed, I just kind of said like sorry and turned around, and I gave Kendrick this meanest stink eye because I'm like, you know, I like her, bro. Like, what are you doing? So we keep it pushing, whatever, go to lunch. And at the end of lunch, when everybody got up to like, dump their trays and shit like that before we left.
That's so American. Dunk your tray. Oh my god. To do the American high school experience just for a bit. Also, is this the Hawaiian? I forget what the DLC was called. Such a sick map.
I just happened to be standing right behind her, waiting in line.
Bro, I remember Jacksepticeye playing this map for the first time, like new release.
The like 10 seconds I had to think about it, I decided fuck it. So I tapped her on the shoulder. She turned around and I apologized again, a little bit more heartfelt this time. Like instead of just saying sorry, I actually apologized. And I thought she'd be annoyed. But she was actually like, it's okay. She said she knows my friend pushed me, whatever. And she said you should get some better friends. And bro, like...
Ooh. I mean, if you have just been pushed into your crush, but bro, as soon as a gal starts going for my friend, I was with this chop bitch once on holiday, and we were just mucking about, and I was like, oh yeah, it's funny, and game's a game. And then I remember she started just insulting my friend, just saying he's so annoying, he's this, he's that, and I just went, ew, fucking ew. And then just, ignored her for the rest of the trip. We also like met later in that week. I didn't try to meet her, I tried to ignore her, but then she like pulled me for a chat, Love Island style, and she said, why are you ignoring me? Stop making this weird. And I'm like, darling, I knew you for like 2 hours. And then you asked for my number and I gave you it, and then I didn't want to respond to your messages all holiday. Fuck off. Taking a piss out of my mate on like literally 2 hours of meeting you.
I've mentioned it before, but like this was like my peak awkward, goofy, stumbling over my own words era. But once in a while your boy would land a clean little jab, right? And I said, I said something along the line, I don't remember exactly, but I was like, well, you should be my friend then, right? And
let's go. Oh, this actually gets me hype.
She smiled, and that was all it took, though. That was all I needed. That was the fucking bell at the beginning of the fight telling me to get ready.
Maybe we should be friends then. Yeah. I'd be speechless. I wouldn't know what to say.
Man, so later that same day, I was talking to my homie Eddie, and I asked if he knew what period she was doing the student aid shit in the library, because he used to go to the library a lot, and it just so happened to be during my free period. So I was like, oh
my god, the stars have aligned. Those are planets. Is he gonna say stars have aligned and those are planets?
Oh, the stars are aligned.
Those are planets. Those are planets. You've shown a clip of planets aligning. For fuck's sake. I knew it was going to happen.
So I went and got a library card, and I started going almost every single day, like at bare minimum 3 days out of the week, to the library. And from the jump, bro, I was making attempts. I would like ask her for a book recommendation. What was it like being a student aide? Just basically any excuse to talk to her. And it took like almost 2 months. It had to be at least like 6 weeks of.
Bro, that's too much craft. I can't do that. I mean, in person, I'm better. Okay, let's chill out. I can chat to women in person, but bro, I can't message. I'm not a busy guy, right? Well, I'm somewhat busy, but like in the day, I'm not on my phone messaging anyone. Like even my boys, we don't message in the day. And then even if I get to the end of the day, I'll go to the gym, or I'm editing a video, or I'm just chilling out and like watching YouTube or something. I don't want to be sat on my phone. Messaging is so boring, bro. Maybe it's because I've got no game over messages, but for me, messaging is so boring. I know he's not talking about messaging, but like, maybe I just need to go.
Going almost every fucking day. But I finally was able to get her number. And boy, let me tell you, shorty was a tough cookie to crack. It took almost 5 months of texting and like talking on the phone and shit, and talking to her at school, before I finally started
cracking her?
To catch a little bit of rhythm with her for real. To the point where I would feel comfortable asking her out.
And not even to crack. 5 months graph, bro, I remember. I mean, I guess you're in school, it was different. I mean, I did like a 3 or 4 year graft, and she kept having boyfriends on and off, and then she just never wanted me. And then I remember at one point, I thought I was coming to, this was like year 11, grade 11, I'm like 16, and I thought the planets had aligned, and then it turns out she was chatting to my best mate. And my best mate didn't tell me. And he said, oh, nah, she likes you, you should ask her out and stuff. Turns out he was chatting to her the whole time. Cheers, bro.
And I finally built up the courage to ask her if she wanted to hang out sometime. It was like right after my 16th birthday. The school used to end on, I think it would be like the last day of school was like May 25th, right? And then a week later, May 31st was my birthday. So I had told her like right before school ended, yo, I'm gonna turn 16 soon. You know, we should hang out during the summer. So after I turned 16, maybe like 3 days later, I went and got my license immediately so I could, you know, now I could pick her up myself. I ain't
So much aura, bro. So much aura. I have still never to this day picked a girl up in my car. I'm 20 years old. Actually, that's a lie. I picked up one girl. And then she started dating my mate, so that's interesting.
Gotta have her come pick me up, or, you know, after I got my license, I asked her out. She said yeah. And see, the thing is, I'd also hit my second growth spurt. You know, the little youngster went from being like, I think I was like 5'6" towards the end of that.
Bro, 5'6" is pretty, 5'6" is pretty tall. Don't tell me you're like 6'2" now or some shit.
School year to like, I shit you not, bro. I was like 5'8" almost overnight.
Oh, okay. That's chill. I thought you were gonna be an absolute cunt.
think within like, it was seriously within like 2 or 3 weeks, I grew like 2 inches. It was fucking crazy. But all of a sudden, you know, I'm taller than her. I was bigger than her. So I had a little bit more confidence, you know? So we hung out, I don't know, once or twice at like the park or go get McDonald's or just, you know, like regular shit, whatever. Teenager dates. Neither one of you got a lot of money or a lot of options. And then one day she asked if we could go to the city library together. And, you know, I figured, I was like, oh, like this is kind of her element more, like this is her domain. And she asked me to go with her. So I was like, shit, bet. I jumped at the opportunity. I was like, oh, maybe.
Is that a real Superman clip? No, that's just a clip where he showed. I've never actually seen the movie. I never went to watch it, but I presume that's. What am I saying? Of course, it's not real.
I jumped at the opportunity. I was like, oh, maybe she's really, really feeling me now, you know? So we went. I didn't have a membership or whatever to the library, so I signed up, threw that shit, like the little card in the back of my wallet, and I followed her around like a puppy for...
Good. Like, hey, I quite like being on the leash. I got dragged through a club recently, and she was like holding my hand. I kind of like feeling like a little puppy. She's holding onto my hand. She's dragging me through. She did end up then literally getting stuck, so I had to, you know, shove my way through. And then it turns out I just got absolutely bitched by about 20 man, so she probably got the ick, but hey.
3 or 4 days that week. But on the last day of the week, either the third or fourth time, something was a little different that day. You know, we sat down in like this little corner of the library where like the lights were dim. It was a rainy day. It was low-key kind of a...
Oh, that's mad. I'm actually getting giddy. I'm actually a mad parasocial. I used to make videos on a account called Shout Out to You, man. I don't know who's what out of all of you lot. I'm not going to name anyone individually, but any of you, man, that used to watch the Kingzy videos, the drama, like face stuff, shout out to you, man. But I used to be a mad parasocial. Like Jason the Wiener Sakura, right at the start. I used to make videos about that. I mean, they banged. I wasn't like an actual weird parasocial. I used to make fun of other parasocials, but Jason reacting to one of my videos that I made for him got like triple the views on his channel, and is also like still his like 20th or 30th most popular video on that channel. Still pisses me off to this day.
Vibe, a little bit of a mood. And she sat like extra close to me in the library. You know, like we sat side by side and she like had her arm up against mine, making physical contact. At one point she like laid her hand on mine.
Four shoulders, bro. Oh my god, it's getting me giddy.
While she was reading, ouch. Heart was beating out my chest, dog. I was nervous as fuck. We were there for probably like 2 or 3 hours, and we're getting up and getting ready to go back to my...
What are you doing at the library? I take it you're both reading? Or are you like just drinking? Or are you just chilling? I don't know. I've never been on a library day. I take it you read. Do you read a book together? Do you like read it out to each other? That'd be a bit weird.
Car, right? We walk...
Do couples do that? Do they like read a shared book? Like you would get read to like when you were a kid? Surely not. There's definitely someone out there, but just like a gal reading a book to a guy and he's just all snuggled up. If any hot librarians want to do that with me, I'm so down.
Out the front door of the library, and the library is right next to like the...
Hold on, I gotta sneeze real quick. Otherwise, I'm just gonna keep sniffling. Oh. Cough up some phlegm as well. Also, that wasn't a sneeze, that was blowing my nose.
We were there for probably like 2 or 3 hours, and we're getting up and getting ready to go back to my car, right? We walk out the front door of the library, and the library is right next to like the city park. So you make a right and you start walking towards the park, and I parked the car in the parking lot. God damn, I just said park a lot of times. Anyway, As we're walking towards my car, you know, and I opened the passenger door for her to, you know, put her books and whatever the fuck else in there. And as I was walking around to my side of the car, she came behind me and grabbed me and she just started kissing me and shit.
Holy shit, this man is winning. This man is winning. It's probably not with her now. I think he's had like plenty of other stories with other. But hey, I hope it ended nice and mutually, bro. That happened to my mate again recently. Absolute 10 rocket. Like, there's a big group of us, and like us lads, and then a big group of them. We're not like together, but then we ended up meeting in the middle, and then she just starts like looking back at him again and like biting her nail at. Oh, that's so cringe. But she started biting her nail at him. It's hot when she does it. It looks weird when I do it. And then he had like no idea what was going on. And then she ended up turning around, and he's like, oh. And then she literally just puts her hand around his neck and starts necking off with him, and we're like, yes. I definitely wasn't jealous at all.
Right? And this wasn't my first kiss, but this was probably like kiss number 3, so I still wasn't like great at it, but I was kind of getting in my bag. We start just honestly making out, and
at the back of the library in the car park, bro. Can't chill out with the PDA. I know I just said these men had done it in like the club, but the club's different, bro. Club's but if you ain't with a girl in the club, it's just shit, bro. Like, there's only so much dancing with your boys can.
She ends up kind of leading me to the back seat of the car, and it was an experience, I'll say that. And I found out a few weeks later that she was actually going to be graduating early. She was only going to be in senior year for like 3 months to get the last few credits that
I forget this girl's older than him. Fucking hell, bro. Fair play.
Needed, I think, like just 1 semester, and then she was out. Like I said, she was smart. She was taking advanced classes, all that shit, whatever. So obviously things kind of ended up fizzling out after like another month or 2. But the reason I mentioned all this...
Yeah, I was going to say, what, to goon or not to goon? I've just been getting giddy over a 6-minute and 30-long story about a little high school flip.
Is not actually because of her, but that library card. You remember how I said I threw that shit in the back of my wallet? Well, it's an old wallet. It's a different one from the one I got a wallet when I was like 17, and that's the one I've been using literally for the last like 13, 14 years. But
this guy's 30. I mean, no, hey, he seems mad chill, but he does not. Well, I don't know. No. Now I feel mean because I've just said this guy doesn't sound his age, and like as a bloke, you kind of want to be told that you sound your. He sounds youthful and chill, is what I'm trying to get at, all right?
That wallet that I had in high school, I kept it because I had like some pictures I took back in school, you know.
No way, was that actually the picture?
In high school.
Is that her and that him? Oh, that is tough. Or is that just a random picture? I'm going to presume this is him, and that's her. And that's her? Okay, oh, I'm tweaking, bro. And that's her. Hey, fair play, man. Fair fucking play.
You know, shit from the school. It was like memorabilia and like nostalgia shit, so I kept the wallet. I found it like a few weeks ago in my dresser, right? And I started looking through it, and I found the old library card, and I remembered why I even got that card in the first place, and I remembered her and everything that happened, whatever. And a couple recent videos I've mentioned
Zoomers can't stop doom gooning. Bar.
I've been really like putting in a real effort to just kind of better myself and my lifestyle in general. You know, I've been locked in. I've been eating so much like healthier, better portions. I've been like watching my caloric intake and shit like that. Like I've really been
W-mans. W lock-in. I rate that, bro. I'm always rooting for my boys.
On my P's and Q's with that shit. I've been
on my P's and Q's, little Kato song. Go on.
Exercising a lot more regularly. I've been going to the gym a lot more consistently lately. I've been trying to make sure I spend more time outside in the sunlight, in nature, playing with.
But bro, best thing I ever do, best thing I've ever put into my routine, does it not complicated. As soon as I wake up, I either hop straight in the shower, as usual, pretty much, and then I get a big glass of water, and I stand outside, and I look into the sun, and then I just walk up and down my garden for like 10 minutes. You get your steps, you get your blood flowing, you get some sunlight, and you get hydrated. Unreal start to the morning. I recommend it to anyone. You don't need to do any complicated shit, bro. Just get some sun in your eyes and get moving. Unbelievable.
My dogs, going for a walk, whatever, just, you know, like I said, on my Soluminati fucking geyser shit, just trying to, you know, get some of the warmth and the vibrations of the sun soaked into my skin and my soul, you know what I mean? Trying to make sure I get better sleep, which sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. That's a whole nother topic. Insomnia is a fucking bitch, and I hate her. Another thing I didn't mention is, I don't know how to put this, I guess, reducing goon time. So like,
Okay. We're getting onto the topic of the video. We're 7 minutes in. That's fine.
all right, let me just, don't get it twisted, all right? I've never been like a gooner. Like,
What are you putting in me for? What do you say fuck me for? Nah, I kind of am. Nah, I went through phases. From like the age of like, this is bad, bro. From like the age of like 11, like 12, I started quite young, bro. Started in like grade or years when I was like 12. And then literally was like, I was probably like twice a day, every day up until the age of about 18. And then at 18, you kind of clock in, you go, oh, fuck, what am I actually doing? And then you obviously go through like ruts and things where you realize, oh, I've been addicted to this shit for like 6 years and I haven't even realized. I'm in a decent spot now. I would say like, but before I've had this like 2 week break, I was on like maybe 3 times a week, like every other day, maybe 4 times, which isn't outrageous, but I don't think it's the actual act of gooning. I think it's the act of watching corn. If you get what I'm on about, you know what I mean? Like, I think that's the shit that actually really damages your brain. I think gooning is just like, feels nice in it. I tried to avoid doing it, but it's just messy, bro. Like, I'm laying in my bed and I'm like ready to go to bed, and then I get a massive fucking rock on, and then I'm like, right, can you piss off? Because if you don't piss off, I've got to deal with what comes out of you. And then it's just, I'm waddling down the fucking stairs like a penguin, trying to make it not drip everywhere, or when it lands on me, I can't be able to deal with it, and it starts dripping down the side of my belly onto my bed. Why am I oversharing? Oh my god.
I know a lot of y'all little motherfuckers are. I've yanked it no more than normal. Like, I don't even do this shit daily. Like, shit, sometimes it'd be like twice a week, you know what I mean? It's natural, so like, I know it's kind of awkward to talk about, but I'm an adult. A lot of y'all are adults, or at the very least old enough to fucking know better. It's natural, shit happens, you gotta do what you gotta do, whatever. But one of the side effects that I didn't realize or think about of living a healthier lifestyle that didn't click until a couple weeks ago, I think the boys are back with a vengeance. And I'm not talking about Amazon Prime here. Like, I've felt the testosterone increase. I've felt like low key, like,
It's not low-key. Low-key's a... Holy... Please don't tell me that's like a man or some shit, because holy fucking rock, what the... She's unreal, bro. Okay, yeah, no, I've just said I don't goon, and now I've...
low key, like, I don't really know how to explain it, but my muscles feel tighter.
Oh my god, the quarry. The fucking quarry. Is you gonna say like he's boosting well, yeah, bro, if you start treating your body better, you start eating healthier, you stop being like a lazy piece of shit, of course your test is gonna go up. It's also stress as well, that kind of fucks it over. But bro, I gotta make it in this world. I got mortgages to pay. I got fucking debts to pay. Not for myself, for like family and shit. We'll figure it out. We'll keep reacting to more videos.
In a good way, not like tense. Like, I have more energy, and I'll just be honest, a much higher sex drive. And you know, I'm gonna admit, I will admit
that is kind of true. I haven't gooned in like 2 weeks. I've chatted to one more woman than I usually would have done in those past 2 weeks. So I would say that's an improvement.
Felt the urge to possibly have more like casual hookups and shit lately. Like I said, that urge is very hard to overcome. And
yeah, I would... Wait, is he saying he's had more or he hasn't had more? Because I feel like I want to have more. Let me replay that.
It's a much higher sex drive. And you know, I'm gonna admit, I've kind of felt the urge to possibly have more like casual hookups. And
yeah, he's saying he is. Yeah, but I think that's normal. Like, if you're not gooning, it's natural to want to nut. So like, you gotta do it somehow. As long as it's like positive and it's not, and it's healthy and obviously consensual, we don't need to fucking say that, and like you're not playing with emotions too much and everything's mutual, then yeah, why not, bro? Anyone want to be friends with benefits? I just can't chat to you for like 3 hours a day. I remember chatting to a mate of mine that's like always been in a relationship since he was like 15. And I'm like, he was talking to me like, I think it was when he broke up with one, or he got broken up with. That is unnecessary. I've just thrown him under the bus for no reason. Point is, they split up, and he was like, bro, what am I going to do every evening? And I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, I usually chat to her on FaceTime for like 2 hours, or like we'll be messaging and stuff. I'm like, You get back from a day's work, you've done 8 hours, 9 hours with like travel and whatnot. You get back, you have some food, you shower, you're probably going to the gym or you got football or something. And then you get back and you chat to her for 2 hours. What in the world? Where do you find the time and effort to do that? Oh my God. I could not think of FaceTime. I'm going to go for 2 hours tonight at the end of my day. I'm going to record like 3 more of these videos. I'm going to edit a few, and then I'm probably going to do some cardio. I'll eat, have a shower, and then I might finish off some more editing. Got to download some footage because I'm an editor for other people. So I've got to download that footage ready for tomorrow morning. And then, bro, I'm sitting in bed with a bowl of Weetabix and Nutella and going to sleep. Like, how? I'm making it sound like I'm against relationships. I understand, very normal. You love each other. You want to talk to each other. But like 2 hours every day. Like, obviously, if you live together, it's different. But they didn't live together. This is just them sat on FaceTime. I still rate you, by the way. Like, you're still sound, my boy. But
shit lately, like I said, that urge is very hard to overcome. And it was just kind of leading me into some questionable conversations and just doing shit that was a little out of character, right? So I kind of snubbed it probably, I want to say 3 or 4 weeks ago. And the other day that I found that library card, I've been kind of thinking maybe about...
I did not realise there was this fucking like whale tail jumper. Fuck, I've never done this line in the quarry.
Starting to try reading again. I'm not trying to be like a health guru or like completely 180 who I am. I'm still the same Yankee dumb motherfucker that you've been listening to for however long. I'm still the same guy, but I do want to live a little bit healthier and I'm trying to play the long game, you know what I mean? Like, with my life and with my health and what I want to do with myself and shit like that.
No, that's good shit, bro. I mean, reading, I think I went through like a pretentious reading fit. Oh, I can't be asked to fucking get them out. Wait, give me a second. Oh, Jesus. I don't want to spill this on my glass. I went through like a pretentious reading phase. Diary of the CEO, watchyourdream.com secrets. To be fair, Stillness is the Key by Ryan Holiday is good, but like Rich Dad, Poor Dad, fucking 48 Laws of Power bullshit. Mate, you don't need to buy those books. It's a phase that every lad goes through. It's a waste of money. The reading I would recommend, get yourself some fantasy before you go to bed every night. I'm not gonna lie, I fell out of this habit. I'm not gonna act like I do, but like I know my sleep quality is better. You feel more tired before you get to sleep. You're less stimulated. You wake up, you feel better. You go to sleep faster usually because it just makes you tired. Read some good fantasy. This is a sci-fi book. I used to like write down notes of shit that I read, and I'm like, bro, you don't learn anything from it. Reading those books isn't gonna get that business that you're working on, get you to finish that work any better. It's not gonna fix your life, all right? You're better off just doing the work, and then just when you want to read something you want to read. If you want to read those books, great, but if you're reading them thinking you're gonna learn anything about it, just don't. I can't remember a single... I'm trying to think. Can I remember one story from those books? I seem to remember in Atomic Habits, there's like a story about like a baseball player in like the first chapter, and that's it. Whereas like the stories, like the Lord of the Rings books that I've read, The Hobbit, the fucking Expanse books that I've read, I have also watched the TV shows and movies, which helps, but you know what I mean. I'm ranting about reading. Just self-help books, read them if you want, but don't think they're actually going to help you, because they're not.
So I've been thinking about reading again, so I actually went back to my local library to sign up, and I've been reading lightly here and there. I checked out 1 or 2 books. I started going back like probably about 3 weeks ago. And at the same time, obviously, like I said, I've been trying to focus on controlling my, I guess, increased libido. It's been a while since it was this high, to be honest. And, your boy Yankee not trying to be a hoe or be a goon or nothing like that. So I've just been trying to keep myself contained as best as I can. I ain't got a girlfriend or nothing right now, so it's kind of... And casual hookups in this day and age, a lot of people got shit that they don't admit to. You gotta be careful. So I found
wrap up, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure your man is wrapped up, man, for your own sake, bro. It's not worth it. You might think, oh, it doesn't feel good without it. It doesn't feel... Bro, if it doesn't feel good with it on, all right, it ain't fucking worth it. If you like the girl and you're having a good time, okay, yeah, it's going to feel a bit worse. But if you're having a good time in general, it doesn't matter if it feels a bit worse. You know what I mean? I tell you what feels worse, pissing out yellow, thick, greeny liquid, and I'm going to go to the fucking doctor saying you shagged a little scatty gal that gave you gonorrhea. Or you end up with herpes and you're scratching your pubes. Fuck, just wrap up, bro. Wrap that shit up like a Christmas present, 7 layers. Gotta keep them locked and loaded. Can I show that? Oh, can I show that in a YouTube video? There's nothing on it. It's just a cardboard box, bro.
Book, right? Probably like 2 weeks ago that I found pretty interesting, and it was about like spirituality and like the connection between like what you put in your body and what you get out of it. Like, you know, if you put garbage food in your body, you're gonna feel shitty. If you put more natural and healthy things in your body, you're gonna probably feel more healthy, and you know, that kind of stuff. And I got to a point in the book recently that was about the relationship between sex and your spirit. And you know, it mentioned how our bodies and spirit, much like everything else in the world, are subject to the laws of equivalent exchange. And basically, you know, if
This is true. This is well, if it depends how much you lean into the spirituality of it, but everything's an exchange of energy, bro. Energy cannot be created nor destroyed, it can only be transferred. I think.
if you're actively and overly expelling energy, i.e. gooning, arguably what is your own life essence, you know, from yourself, then there's going to be an imbalance in your energy. You're expelling too much without replenishing it with something else.
Well, I think it's just the fact that when you're gooning, there's no like challenge and adversity. It's usually you whip open your phone, it's easy access, instant dopamine from that instant chemical rush, whatever. It's all instant. You don't work for it. You could have had a hard day, and I'm not gonna lie, that's kind of where my shit goes. When I shake hands with the milkman, it's usually because I've had somewhat of a stressful day, and I just say, bro, take my hand, and he just goes in there, and we just have a good time. But it's not a good way to deal with that. It's not a good excuse. I understand it, but it's not a good excuse to be like, oh yeah, I've had a hard day. Let me just make my life in 6 months even worse for myself. Let's make my life. Basically, let's make the morning worse. I always feel worse the morning after when I'm going. I just do.
And it's just kind of, I don't know, it's got me thinking about like just the amount of emails and DMs that I've gotten from you guys about, you know, asking about like corn addiction, gooning, and just like other unhealthy habits that kind of revolve around sex and stuff like that over this last like year or whatever. And I could kind of...
Oh, that was so sorry. I was so invested in the gameplay, mate. When you just lip out over there, so annoying.
Over this last like year or whatever. And I could kind of somewhat feel myself heading in that direction. Not that I was like gooning and shit like that, but just it's really just been like sex has been on my mind a lot more, like kind of all of a sudden. And while it is an uphill battle for most men and women too, obviously I'm not a woman, I can't speak from a woman's experience, but I'm pretty sure we're all sexual beings. I gotta tell you that, you know, controlling yourself and living a healthy lifestyle and being careful about what you're giving or swapping energy with has like so genuinely had me feeling so much better this last like probably 2-3 weeks, more than I have in like the last 2 or 3 years. And you know, like don't get it twisted. I'm not saying like everything is sunshine and rainbows and life is hunky dory. And
bro, that looks like the fucking monster out this. You know, have you ever watched Smile, where like the monster comes out of her face or some shit? I don't know whether I can show this in a YouTube video. This thing, I think I can show this image. It's not that bad. Everything else is kind of grotesque, but kind of looks like that. You know what I mean? But yeah, I ain't trying to make it too personal, although I am 38 minutes into a YouTube video that no one's going to watch, so I can probably say whatever the fuck I want. I very rarely do it with like a random stranger. Like I can say this now, in terms of cheating, never done it on a one night stand. May I not be a virgin. But like, even just doing other stuff. Actually, that's a lie. I have done it on the first night. But like, when you're just kissing a girl, it's not that deep. But taking it to the next level, I could never do that with a girl that I've met on that night. I would have to chat to her and see what she's on. If I ain't fucking with a girl like that, I couldn't. I can't do one night stands, bro. I just can't.
You know, you eat right, you go to the gym a couple times a week, and you...
Although I did get cock blocked like a week ago, and I probably would have followed through then. So I guess I am capping on the track. Bastard!
Don't jerk off every 10 minutes. All of a sudden, fucking, you're gonna become a rich billionaire and you're gonna be shredded and, like, you know, life's gonna be perfect. I'm not saying that. You know, I still have depression creep into my head once in a while, and, you know, sometimes I'll just kind of feel down. Like, I think yesterday was kind of a shitty mental health day for me for, like, most of the day up until, like, the end of it. It happens. But I can just tell you that, you know, learning how to have self-control in all aspects, whether it's food, video games, the time you spend online, what you look at online, you know what I'm talking about, the time you spend with yourself, you know what I'm talking about, all that shit. You know, just if you learning how to have self-control and discipline it's twofold, you know, because one, when you become disciplined, it makes learning new tasks or doing new things that you once thought maybe would be difficult that much easier, but it also gives you so much more self-confidence in yourself when you know, like, if I can do this, then I can definitely do this other thing, you know?
Yeah, I would agree. That's why I think like little forms of discipline are good for you. Like, oh, you made a mess with some like cutlery or some shit, or what you were just eating with. Clean it up, wash it up, dry it up, put it in the dishwasher straight away. Like I always have a habit of, like, when I leave the house, I always shut the gate. I never leave it. Everyone else leaves their gates like slightly ajar. I always shut the gate. Just like little things like that tend to be the best. And I remember last year I did like a 31 day when the FaZe were doing their like second subathon. I said, right, I'm gonna make a video every day, and I was doing, like, at the start, bro, it was like 14-hour days. I managed to get it down to like 8 to 10-hour days by the end. So obviously still kind of ridiculous when you're doing other shit on top of that, but it was more manageable by the end. I was cooked after that, bro. Like 31 videos doing like 14-hour days. Oh my god. But now that I know I've done that, I know I can work pretty hard. And don't get me wrong, I've had slumps up and down, and I lose motivation all the time to work and whatnot. But just like I am with these videos now, I'm going, okay, I've done fucking 12-hour days, like every day for like 30 days. I can record a video every day and edit it and post it that takes me about 2 to 3 hours in total, and post it every day, and it'd be a lot easier to record no research, just a reaction video like this. If I can do that, I've proved to myself in the past that I can be disciplined and do that. It makes this shit a lot easier. Don't get me wrong, it's still difficult to, but I find this fun. I find reacting like this fun. As you can tell, I like to waffle a lot. There's literally no one in my stream. I'm literally just sat on my own, and I have kind of just consciously just clocked that I'm chatting to myself this whole time. Like, not even a stream or anything, but I will stream at some point. I just want to build up some of these videos, but I can prove to myself that I can do this, so it's not that difficult. That's what I'm saying. Do the little tasks, you'll be fine, bro. I also kind of forgot what I was just saying there.
But the other thing is, like, dog, I really feel good. Like, I just turned 30, you know, haha, old, whatever the fuck.
Hey, fuck. I'm not even trying to make the joke. I'm just thinking about myself when I'm 30. That's fucked.
Dog, I feel as good right this moment that I'm talking to you right now. I feel as good as I did when I was like 22. And like I said, the last like probably 2-3 weeks, I've been just really eating healthy. I've been eating a lot of low carb, like watching my macros, watching calories. I've been eating a lot more fruits, and like I've been fucking with like coconut water, like organic shit. I've been drinking a lot more water. I ain't gonna lie, my skin's always been like really, really clear, to be honest. But I've noticed the last few days it has a little bit of a gleam, whatever the word is, to it. Like, I just been feeling.
I think the word he's thinking of is glow, and also with skin. I have decent skin, but I have noticed you're not going to be able to see on this shit webcam. Sorry, bro. You're a good kid, but you are shit. I get spots when I drink. Like, I went on holiday and I was obviously like drinking like quite a lot every day. My chest gets so spotty. So when you're on a summer holiday and your shirt's off the whole time and you're drinking loads, but then you get so spotty, I was like, fuck. It's actually mad annoying. But hey, drinking was fun, and everyone else there was pretty much more wham than I ever will be. So who do I care?
Really good, dog. And you know, I know it's hard, and like I said, I just turned 30. I've always kind of had some self-control in some aspects, but not so much in others. I'm just now really locking into trying to control a lot of aspects of my life that were either out of control or I thought I had under control, but were slipping out from under me. So, you know, if you're like a 16-year-old, 19-year-old, 21-year-old, 22-year-old, 25.
Oh, so we're just missing out the 20-year-old. Nah, Sam, don't even worry about it, Yankee. I'm not even offended. You fucking 30-year-old old. Sorry, you're probably American. That word's chill.
Whatever the fuck. You know, we all move through life at our own paces, and, you know, we learn how to do certain things at different times. So just because, you know, I'm having success with it right now doesn't necessarily mean you will right now. You're probably at a different place in your life. But what I'm trying to tell you is that once you learn how to control urges, control addictions, control whatever the fuck feels like.
Oh, please zoom out. Why have you got this camera angle on Skate 3? It's so annoying.
You're just kind of spinning out. The satisfaction, the positive benefits, just everything that comes from it feels so much better, bro. And You know, I'm I hope any of y'all that are going through something like that, struggling with that, are able to overcome it. It's gonna take time, dog. It's taken me many years of building up the know-how and slowly learning how to control urges and stuff like that. I'm just really, really at a place in my life right now where I'm mentally there. You know, I've always wanted to do it, but I didn't have that mental dedication, that mental fortitude, that mental true desire to do it until now. I really just want to better myself. I want to better my life, and I want to, like I said, play the long game and start thinking 5-10 years in advance, because my entire life since I was 16, I was like, I might just end up blowing my shit smooth off in a year or two. So fuck it, I'm gonna just enjoy right now, because I might not make it to 24, 30, whatever the fuck, you know what I mean? So like, I've lived my life so much.
I wouldn't say I've gone to that extent. Obviously, everyone deals with different struggles. Like, I know I'm, well, fucking hell, that's a bad thing to say. Touch wood. I'm holding my dick. Wood is held. Bro, but the idea that I'm going to be 24 and I'm going to be, like, me, the Kingzy. Like, I'm still coming to terms with being like 20, but I still feel like I'm 18. But then when I was 18, I felt like I was 15 or 16. And then I think you usually feel 2 years younger than you actually are. Like, I feel 18 right now, but I'm 20. And then when I'm 22, I'll probably feel 20. Personally, for me, that's how it goes.
Not recklessly, but just like so much for the moment, because I didn't think I'd even live long enough to see, you know, that whole, where do you see yourself 5 years from now, 10 years from now, that kind of shit. But I'm also now kind of enjoying life and starting to realize I do want to be able to look forward to things and just be able to, you know, think, what do I want to do with my life in 5 years, 10 years? Where do I want to be when I'm 40, when I'm 50? Do I, you know, all that shit. So I don't know. I've been yapping long enough. Appreciate y'all. I've been Yankee. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.
Peace. W Yankee. Love that video. It's actually a good channel. Like, I just love just kind of yap channels. I mean, that's basically all I'm doing. But I would say I yapped, what was that? Just always got to check. 16-minute video, 47-minute recording. I think we're good. I'm not looking forward to editing that. Modern day Aristotle. Yeah, bro. I mean, what else are philosophers going to think about these days? We've completed all philosophy. So you might as well chat about, you don't need to think about the profound shit anymore. Just think about the real shit, what everyone deals with. My favorite genre of YouTube is random people talking about the randomest shit ever happens to them. You want to subscribe to Kingzy, bro? I'm not going to self promo, but, well, W Yankee, that's going to be me in a bosom.